Hello everyone. So today we'll be discussing this chapter 4 and 5, and I have combined these two chapters together, but I'll be dividing this chapter into two parts. Okay, this whole topic will be divided into two parts. So we'll be taking part 1 today, and tomorrow we'll be doing part 2. So this chapter is very, very important for all network engineers or who want to become a network engineer, especially your OSI model and IP addressing. They are the basic foundation of any network or any. If anyone want to become a very good network engineer, need to know OSI model and IP addressing very, very thoroughly. Okay, so that's what we expect from any engineers working as a network engineer, okay, or with networks. So generally, if you give any wrong answer was related to question from OSI or IP addressing, it will be very difficult for you to clear the interview, okay, because these are the basic, and you have to be very, very thorough with the concept. So let us look into this chapter. This chapter will be dealing with 3 major topics. One is IP addressing, second one will be subnetting, and the third one will be route summarization. So today we'll be doing IP addressing, that is part 1, and tomorrow we'll be doing subnetting and route summarization, that is part 2. Okay, so let us begin. So if you look at IP address, okay, it looks like this number. You can read this number, which is displayed here, like 172.18.0, okay, .1. Another number 192.168.1.1. This number 192.168.1.1 is the most popular number in the world. This is most popular IP address in the world. Okay. If you use or if you have seen any IP address or you have looked at some device with a default IP address, most of them they choose this number, either 192.168.0.1 or 1.1. So that is my IP address. But how do I define the IP address and what are the characteristics of an IP address? So IP address means Internet Protocol address. That means in a network, every device must have an address or a number. That is the IP address or IP number. Okay, and it has to be unique. No 2 or more device can have same number or same IP address. Okay, that's the first point what I'm discussing. It's the IP address is logical and unique. Why it is logical? Logical means we can change the IP address. It is not fixed. We can change. It is not burned in like your MAC address. It is not a hardware address, physical address. It is a software address, a logical address, software address, or address which can be changed. But it has to be unique in the same network. Multiple devices cannot have the same IP address. It has to be unique. That means if I have 3 computers in my network, all the 3 computers must have different IP address in the same network, like 192.168.1.1, 192.168.1.2, 192.168.1.3. If 2 devices, out of those 3 devices, if 2 devices has same IP address like 192.168.1.1, and the second one also has 192.168.1.1, then there will be conflict, and both the devices will not work. Okay, so it will be called as IP address conflict. Until we resolve them, until we change the IP address, they are not going to work. Okay, they will not be able to communicate in the network. Same like on the street, every house has a different number. It cannot be same. Every house will have a different number. So same in the network, every device should have a different number. Okay, or address. IP address works in layer 3 or network layer or internet layer. IP address is 32-bit long. How big it is? 32-bit. If you look at the example, it is example like 192.168.1.1. This 192 represents 8-bit. Then again 168 represents 8-bit. The next one, it represents 8-bit. Another one, the last one also represents 8-bit. So totally 8-bit, 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 8-bit. So 8 into 4, 32 bits. So your IP address is 32-bit. This is divided into 4 octet. Yes, 192 dot. So the number represent and it is separated by dot. That's why it is also called as dotted decimal representation. So the octet, say 8-bit can also be called as octet, and each octet is 8-bit. Okay, so 8 into 4 is 32-bit. And it can be represented in 3 format, binary format, that is 0, 1, or 1, 1, like this. And then you have dotted decimal. Okay, dotted decimal is the most widely used format. Example, you can see here, this is 192.168, 1.1, 172, 17.0.2, like that. And hexadecimal. Hexadecimal also we can use, but we rarely use that in the IPv4. Hexadecimal is used in IPv6. Okay. And there are 5 classes of IP addresses. How many classes? 5 classes. Class A, B, C, D, E. Class A, B, C are used for internet walking. D is used for multicasting. E is used for research purpose. So it is reserved. It is reserved for research and development. Clear? Okay. Next point, it says the class of an IP address can be determined by the value of the first octet. If you look at the example here, my IP address is 192.168.1.1. Another example, 172.17.0.1. Another one, 10.13.0.1. So I have these IP addresses. But how do I know this IP address belongs to which class, whether it belongs to class A or B or C or D or E? So if I want to determine it belongs to which class, I have to look at the first octet of the IP address. That means the first number. I have to look at the first octet, and if the number is between 1 to 126, if the first octet number is between 1 to 126, it is class A. If it is 128 to 191, it is class B. If 192 to 223, class C. If it is 224 to 239, class D. If it is 240 to 255, it is class E. Now, if you look at the example here, 10. So 10 belongs to class A. 172, class B. 192, class C. 200, class C. Okay, if it is 241, class E. Yes. Okay, so we'll do some more example in the later chapter. Okay, so let us go to the next point. So to determine the IP address to determine the value of an IP address, or to determine the IP address belongs to which class. Okay, to determine the IP address belongs to which class, we have to look at the value of the first octet. Next, the IP address which belongs to class A, B, C are divided into 2 portions, network portion and host portion. In class A, or the class A IP addresses are divided like this. First octet will be network, remaining 3 octet will be host. Class B, you have network, host. Class C, first 3 network, last is host. Okay, so if you look at this, okay, it is very easy to remember how the IP address are classified. Same way, if you look at this point, every IP address which belongs to class A, B, C, they have a default subnet mask. And the default subnet mask for class A is 255.0.0.0. Class B 255.255.0.0. Class C 255.255.255.0. Now, if you compare between this default subnet mask with the portion, you find network is represented by 255 and host is represented by 0. So for class A, you have network, then host, host, host. And if you look at the default subnet mask, it is 255.0.0.0. Clear? So what is a subnet mask? Subnet mask is also a 32-bit number which is used to determine a particular IP address belongs to which network or a subnetwork. Every IP address must have a subnet mask. Okay, it is compulsory. If you don't put the subnet mask, you'll get an incomplete error. So subnet mask will tell you your IP address belongs to which subnetwork or which network. Next point. IP addresses in class A, B, C are two types. One is called private, another is called public. Now, what are private IP address? Private IP address are used in LAN or private network. Public IP address are used in WAN or public network like internet. What is LAN? LAN means local area network where I'm not connected to public network maintained by a single organization, and it doesn't go beyond 1 kilometer geographically. It can be a network inside a room, inside a building, inside a campus. But WAN network is your public network like your internet. Okay, you need routable IP address. LAN IP address or private IP address are non-routable. So if you look in class A, so there is a range in this three class A, B, C, and these ranges are defined as private, remaining others are public. So for class A, the range is 10.0.0.0 till 10.255.255.255. This whole range is private. Remaining all other are public in class A. Same for class B. We have 172.16.0.0 till 172.31.255.255. For class C, 192.168.0.0 till 192.168.255.255. There is one more range which comes under 127. 127 is also a reserved number which is not used in network. Generally, it has been reserved for protocol stack testing. Okay, so if I want to test my protocol is working in the system or not, so I generally ping 127.0.0.1. It is also called as loopback address. So if I ping that IP address and I give reply, that means protocol is working fine. TCP/IP has been installed properly and it's working fine. And if I don't get reply of it, then it says protocol is not working. So protocol has to be installed properly. Okay. And there is one more address range, which is also called as APIPA, which is also a non-routable address or private IP address. APIPA means automatic private IP addressing. Okay, APIPA, A-P-I-P-A. So APIPA is generally used to give the IP address automatically to the clients in case the DHCP server is not working. That means dynamically the IP address is not obtained by the client. So that time it will take the APIPA, okay, and try to communicate internally between them. So that's how the APIPA is used. What is the range? It starts with 169.254. Okay, 169.254 00 till 169, 254, 255, 255. So that range has been reserved for APIBA. Next, if you look at the maximum value of an octet, because octet means 8 bits, and these 8 bits, they have value. The 8 bits has been given value. Each bit has a value. And if you look from the right-hand side of the bit, 8 bit, the first bit will have a value 1. Second will have 2. Third will have 4. Okay, like that will go on. So 4, then you have 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. The leftmost bit will have 128 and the rightmost will have 1. So like this, every octet, 8 bit will have these 8 values. And when the 8 bits are 1, that means you are taking all the values, and if you add them, it becomes 255. And if all the 8 bits are 0, that means you're not taking any values, it becomes 0. So the minimum number will be 0, the maximum number will be 255 when all are 1. Okay. Next, if I want to find out how many hosts are possible in my network or in a subnetwork, so let us look at the network level now. That means I'm going to use a default subnet mask, and I have a portion like this, class A, B, C, where the portions are displayed like this. In class A network, we have host, first is network, then host, host, host. So in this case, if I want to find out how many hosts are possible in this network, by default, it will be represented with this formula called as 2 to the power n minus 2. Okay, 2 to the power n minus 2. This is not 2n, this is 2 to the power n minus 2. So how it will be displayed here, or it will be used here for class A, the default number of hosts possible will be 2 to the power n minus 2 means 2 to the power 24. How 24? Because you have 3 octet. So 3 octet means 3 into 24, 3 into 8, that is 24. So 2 to the power 24 minus 2. Next, in class B, 2 to the power 16 minus 2. And class C, 2 to the power 8 minus 2. Okay. So these are the possible number of hosts possible if you are using default subnet mask. That means you have network and host portion, and you don't have subnetworking. Now, if I do subnetting, and in that case, I want to find out how many subnets are possible. Now, what is subnet or what is subnetting? We'll be doing it tomorrow, but this is the formula to find out number of subnet. The formula is 2 to the power n, and n is the number of bits which has been used for your subnetting. Clear? Okay. Next, all the IP addresses are maintained by IANA, Internet Assigned Numbered Authority. Okay. So this is the main organization which controls the IP address. But in your country, if you want to get the IP address, I have to contact my service provider. Service provider in turn will contact the government, and from the government, it will go to the Network Information Center. So in India, it belongs to APNIC, Asia Pacific Network Information Center, from where we'll get the IP address. Okay. So let us go through this portion. Just brief recap. It says your network IP address will be 32-bit long, divided into 2 portions, network portion, host portion. The maximum value of an octet can be 255 when all the bits are 1. And you can see these bit values from the right-hand side. It is 1, and to the leftmost, it is 128. So you can see the value is getting doubled from 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. You can see those values in every octet. An example of an IP address, 172.16, 122, 204. And this IP address can be converted into this binary number if you know these values. Okay. So if you know these values, you just choose the particular number accordingly, and then you can add them to get the number. Now, for example, 16. See, I'll choose bit number 16. See, bit number 16 is 1. Okay, this particular bit is 1. So that means it is 16, value is 16. If it is 10, 10 means I'll choose 8 and 2. That means it will be 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. That is 10. 8, 8 plus 2. If it is 100, 100 means I cannot take 128 because it is more than 100. So it will be 64 plus 32. That is 96. 96, that is, and then I'll take 4. So this will be 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. So like this. So if you know this value for each octet, I mean these octet values, then you can convert binary into decimal, decimal into binary. So IP address are divided into network portion and host portion as it is mentioned. But there are 5 classes of IP address: class A, B, C, D, E. So A, B, C are used for internet networking. D is for multicasting, and E is reserved for research purpose. And the network portion and host portion is displayed like this. Okay. So if to determine the IP address belongs to which class, for class A, the range of the first octet. Okay, we have to just look at the first octet, and the range will be 1 to 126. Class B, 120 to 191. We are not using 127 because it is reserved for protocol stack testing. Okay, then 192 to 223, that is class C. And class D, 224 to 239. Class E, 240 to 255. And this is an example. I have a router and it is connected to 2 networks. Okay, every interface in a router is a broadcast domain. Okay, we have discussed what is broadcast domain. So router creates broadcast domain. I have 2 interfaces. There are 2 broadcast domain. One is Ethernet 0, another is Ethernet 1. Okay. Now, broadcast domain means it will represent a network or a subnetwork. And if you look here, this network is class B, 172.16, and the host is 12.12. So in the router, we'll have a table called as routing table, where it will record or map the network address to the interface. That means the interface connected to which particular network or subnetwork. You can see here in the routing table E0, which is representing 172.16.00. E1 representing 10.0.0.0, that is class A. Okay, so you'll have in the table, you'll have a network number or subnetwork number, not the host number. Okay, so for class A, what is the network number? First octet is the network, remaining host will be 0. To find number of hosts, the formula is 2 to the power n minus 2. So this is the example of class B. So for class B, it will be 2 to the power 16 minus 2. Now, if you do 2 to the power 16, 2 to the power 16 means 65,536 minus 2, that is the usable address will be 65,534. Okay, we don't use the last number and the first number. First number is your network number, and the last number is your broadcast number. That's why it is minus 2. Okay, and this is your homework. So yeah, please note this down and write this address. This particular address belongs to which class, what is the network portion, and which is the host portion. So we'll stop here. Please copy this, and we'll meet tomorrow, same time. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow.